Hey guys, this is WhytManga. I'm actually redoing this video because I kind of messed up in the first time. I messed up with the recording, so I had to erase it. But anyway, this is WhytManga, creator of Apple Black, published and serialized on Saturday AM. The bi-weekly digital magazine comes out, bi-weekly, so twice a month. $5 for a whole year. You get 20 issues with a lot of other really cool comics apart from Apple Black, and you get some extra features, contests, interviews, etc. So y'all can check that out. Individual issues also $1.99. I think it's one of the best deals in comics today, so y'all can check that out. I'll leave links to that below. You can also read the first 3 chapters of Apple Black free, and some other free content on the site. I'll leave links to everything. You can check out the site and explore, see if you like it. There's also a sample issue on the site. Also leave links to that in the about section below. So I'm here with a new tutorial on the male human body. Again, most of these things come down to style. Some people can have male proportions all messed up, not necessarily messed up, but depending on your style, they have things warped. Maybe the hands bigger than usual, kind of like for example Popeye, where his forearms are really huge. So you can have stuff like that, but this is going to be a general idea of the normal size of the male body and proportions and stuff like that. And I think when you understand the basis of this, then you can now play with the character, and do other things. I'm not really going to go into the muscle anatomy and stuff like that. This is just kind of like proportions, normal, be generally, average. These don't really represent height, but it's more like a ratio thing, where, for instance, where I say the head is 7.5 times the rest of the body. So that's one of the, at least in my style and most of the research I've done, that's a very safe assumption. The head is 7.5 times the rest of the body. And then you have the neck. So you kind of use that and gauge how the rest of the body is going to come out. Like I said, it doesn't really represent height. I can finish drawing this and I can still say that he is 5 feet tall, which is, well, not too tall for a guy. Really short, really. But it doesn't really represent height. It's more of just kind of measurements for getting the proportion right for the rest of the body. So yeah, like I said, it's generally the head is 7.5 times the rest of the body. You have the neck, get the shoulders. Now, unlike the female, the shoulders of guys tend to be a little more broader. And I also did a female version of this tutorial. I leave links somewhere on the screen right now where you can click and you can check that out. Probably do that maybe after you check this out. I don't know, it's up to you. So we have that, and I like to put joints where things bend, where the joints are, because once you understand this, you can kind of use this, and you use this in practice. And so when you now start trying to do different character designs and exploring things and warping some of the anatomy and doing some character designs where you're really putting your own touch and feel to it in your own style, or even drawing more dynamic poses, at least you understand the foundation of the general body type, and from there you can play around with things. I always thought that that's a useful way. It's an easier way of going about drawing. So you do that. Do I do this now when I draw today? No, but You know, did I even ever do this? But not really. But it always helped me. I think that, you know, it's a good way to learn. As long as you keep in mind, this is the main thing to remember, that the head is 7.5 times the rest of the body. And I normally have the joints at 2, and the rest of the leg. This leg's coming out a little too much to the right or left. I don't know. Depends on how you're looking at this. Anyways. And you have that. Have another joint, and you know, you kind of have the rest of the feet. Again, I mean, even though the feet's kind of coming out, it's not. It's almost something where the feet it's really like this. Damn it! It's really like this. So it's just, you know, since once you turn it, that's when these kind of look like they're coming out, but it's still on 0. For the most part, at least. So yeah, we have that. Again, the shoulders don't have to be too broad. One thing you keep in mind, the hands, the actual fists and stuff like that, they're always below the waist. And so you can go ahead and say, draw the hand. The other one. Yeah, let's take one space for it. And you know the elbow is going to be anywhere from here to here, from the wrist to, you know, the shoulder blades or whatever. The elbow is going to be halfway. So you just connect the dots. Yeah, I'm not too focused. Like I said, I'm not too focused on the muscle anatomy. But I'm just, you know, lengths and stuff like that. But cool things to keep in mind is, you know, there's a little bump here at the forearm. Same with the female, just, you know, humans in general. There's a bump there, and just places where the muscles would be. Say, let me just give one simple kind of thing, where you kind of have the shoulder. Let me just. You have the bicep, tricep. I can't remember the name right now, but you have that, and then you have another bump. It's kind of like in the middle of this, kind of cutting 2. So you have this one, and it's now cutting 2, and this is in the middle. Same thing here. We have 1, and it's now cutting 2. But this one, this is bigger than this. And this is, then we have, you know, the elbow, and it kind of goes down. It depends on how muscular the person is. And the muscle here is almost joined with this chest, and this chest is sometimes, like, again, everybody has some kind of different anatomy sometimes. So this could be like this. It's almost like it's 2, but it's not. And then we have the shoulder blades, and again, depending on how muscular he is, there's a bump here. And the neck has muscles again and stuff like that. And, you know, yeah, it's different. I'll have another tutorial on, you know, just playing around with muscles. But for now, just, you know, like I said, nothing to, just focusing on the, you know, the simple anatomy, just to get the proportions right. And for the most part, that's that. And I'll normally do this for like a 14 to 18. If I was doing 14 to 18, maybe I'll make the head maybe a little bigger, maybe not really. So let me give an instance where from something as simple as this, you can kind of add, you know, a couple touches to it and give it some substance. Add more details to make it feel more like a character. So let me see. I'll give you the character design of one of my characters from Apple Black. normally, if the character is young, you also don't want to give the character too shoulders that are too broad. The broad shoulders really are for, it depends on how old the person is, but in general, males tend to have broader shoulders than females, obviously. So we have that. So, part of his jaw doesn't show, but obviously his jaw is there. And this is kind of like a scarf. It's there. As far as the sun. Yes. These. So it's a good way to, if you can get this quick, adding details is, it's pretty easy. Has some sort of, the character has some kind of gauntlet. Okay, add the ears. Remember, it was 7, the head, 7.5 times the rest of the body. And this is like a 14, I use this for like a 14 to 18. But it doesn't really mean, I never state how tall he really is. This could be 5 feet, could be 3, I don't care. But generally, if it's something as small as 3, then it's more like a baby or a little person or whatever, and the head would be a little bigger. You can play around with it and make it an 8, like I did in the female video. And if I were to do something like this, I would certainly use it for a character that I feel is tall, and probably an 18 to, 18 and above. And same thing, but instead of a 7.5, the head will be just 8. And we have the neck. Now these shoulders can be broad. And this character is pretty tall and all that. The legs will be long. The hand, it's here, so the hands is like below the waist. So we have elbows somewhere here, and we can even have the hands a little lower, a little more below the waist. As long as it's below the waist, you're fine. Again, this all depends on your style and the way you draw characters and whatever. Below the waist, obviously it should be the same, unless he has some kind of growth problem, and then you can do whatever you want. So the way we did it here is we had the neck, we had the head, 8, right? We had the kind of this chest area taking, the chest and the neck taking from like 7 to 5.5, and then we have 5.5 to 4.5 being the 5.5 to 4.5 being the rest of it, maybe his ab area. And this thing is something you can play around and kind of define your own style and how you want to approach it, as long as whatever you do, you're consistent throughout. And then again, once you have that, draw feet, whatever. And you're good. We can go lower that, which is what I'll do. Say this is a character from 8 to 14. So it's like an 8 to 14, and from here it's like a 2 to 8. Anything lower than that is baby, and a baby, it doesn't really matter whether it's a male or female babies. whatever it's male or female tend to have the same anatomy. Obviously, you can play around with all these things depending on how muscular a person is, and you can play around, like I said, from like muscle anatomy. I'll leave that for another video. This is just proportions. So like say 8 to 14, I'll start with a 6, but I'll still take so say a 6 to 5, and you know how we said 7.5. This time it's gonna be a 6. So there you had the neck, not so broad shoulders. For say, like I said, a 2 to 8 instead of 6, we'll go from 4, and you say 4, and the head will kind of be bigger, a little bit bigger, just a little bit. But well, let's keep it simple and just for this tutorial, let's just say 4, and the rest of the body is 4 times the head. So we have that, a thinner neck. Again, the shoulder's not broad at all. Almost the same length with the head, but a little more. Not exactly, but just a little more. And we have the chest. Stopping at 2 shoulders. You might want to make it, how we have just a slight angle here. You might want to keep it straight because the character is young and stuff like that. So I want to keep it straight. I think the shoulders maybe a little too broad. Keep that in. Don't be afraid to erase if need be. And you are set. Go anywhere from like a 2 to 8, but like I said, maybe the younger it is, the shorter the limbs and the bigger the head. But this is like the average for 2 to 8, so maybe a 6. I don't know. Again, it depends on your style. You can really do almost whatever. Not even almost. You can do whatever you want. But from a general standpoint, to look at things, this is pretty safe. You can still play around with it. This is not like the absolute way of doing things. You can play around with this system I have, and you can even come up with your own, whatever you see fit. There are a bunch of characters where you can see some in anime where you see a character that looks, in fact, a character that looks this mature, and they can go and say, oh, he's 15 years old, which is really weird, but that's just the way it is. Like I said, it depends on your style. So for the most part, I'm gonna keep shut up now, stop rambling. The video is kind of getting really long, but for the most part, this is pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys check out Like I said, I'll leave links in the about section, and that's it, guys. Hope you learned something. Hope this video was not too much of a mess. We good? We good.
Just don't forget to like and favorite this video. Subscribe for more if you want more. Click on the annotations for the videos that are featured. You can learn stuff from my tutorials. or learn just a whole lot more about Apple Black as a whole. For details on what Saturday AM is and what it what's about, there'll be links in the description for you guys to go check that out. Leave a comment on the video you want to see next, whether it's a tutorial video or a video you want from me explaining anything about the manga if you have read it. And if you haven't read the manga, there's a link for you to go read it in the description below. The description or the about section below will also have links to things that you might find interesting. Facebook page, WhytManga Facebook page, Saturday AM Facebook page, or you can tweet at me, or you can just tweet, spread the word about the manga. Any support is much appreciated. You can hashtag Apple Black, or just tweet at me. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. This is WhytManga, and I'm out.